20s when a doctor looked at me and said, "You're too young to have all these problems." My thought was, yeah, no shit, that's why I'm here. And in my 30s, my doctor looked at me and said, "I just don't know what to do for you. I can't help you anymore," and walked out of the room. I was thinking, holy shit, what is this? I have to continue on like this? I wanted to run after her and say, "Hey, send all those degrees back, get your parents a refund." But instead, I sat there for a few minutes in shock. You know what they never said? You might be right. This is Real Talk with Nikki, and today we're talking about what happens when people who are supposed to heal you dismiss you, silence you, and make you believe you're making it all up. What is medical gaslighting, you ask? Let me paint you a picture. You go to the doctor because something's wrong. You know it. You feel it in your body. Maybe you're exhausted all the time. Maybe you're having panic attacks. Maybe your pain won't go away, no matter what you do. And the doctor looks at you, looks at your test results, and says, "Everything looks normal. It's probably just stress. Have you tried exercising more?" You leave feeling confused, dismissed, like maybe you are making it up. That's medical gaslighting. It's when healthcare providers dismiss, minimize, or invalidate your symptoms. When they blame your physical or mental pain on stress, anxiety, or being overly sensitive. When they tell you your symptoms are all in your head, even when they're very, very real. And here's the kicker. Medical gaslighting happens to women 2 to 3 times more often than men. And women of color, even more. It's not just about being dismissed once. It's about being dismissed repeatedly until you stop trusting yourself. I was 22 when it started. I couldn't sleep. Then I couldn't wake up. I'd go days without eating, then binge until I was sick. I'd clean my entire house at 2 a.m., convinced I could reorganize my life if I just rearranged the furniture. I'd go, and go. And then I'd crash hard. I'd spend days in bed, unable to move, convinced I was a failure, a burden, a waste of space. So I went to the doctor. As the doctor read over my chart, she said, "You're just depressed. This is common for someone your age. You're under a lot of stress." She handed me a prescription for Zoloft and told me to try to get some more sleep. As I sat there, I wanted to say, but I don't think that's the problem. Though I had never been depressed that I knew of, so I went home and I took the medicine. The medicine made everything worse, not to mention I was allergic to it. So that was the first time, but it wasn't the last time. I'd go to the doctor with symptoms. I can't sleep. Then I can't wake up. I feel like I'm losing my mind. They would run tests. Everything would come back normal. Somehow it always got turned around back onto me. You're stressed. You're not sleeping enough. You need to exercise more. Have you tried yoga? I felt like they were always so quick to prescribe an antidepressant or something to help with the pain. For a while I would take them, but they didn't help anything. For about 10 years this went on. And here's what they don't tell you about antidepressants. If you have bipolar disorder and you take antidepressants without a mood stabilizer, they can trigger mania. They can make you more impulsive, more reckless, more out of control. And if you tell your doctor that, they'll say, "You're just not on the right dose yet." Oh boy, that's when they up your doses, and it can make things worse. And the cycle would repeat. And if you have systemic lupus, you need to be very careful about your medications because a lot of medications to treat lupus affect bipolar and vice versa. It's very touchy. So at 30 years old, I hit my breaking point. I had been on and off antidepressants for nearly a decade. I'd seen I don't know, 7 to 10 different doctors. I'd been told I was stressed, I was sensitive, I'm making it worse than what it is, and I was exhausted. So I started doing my own research. I started listening to what my body was telling me. What I found? Bipolar disorder is often misdiagnosed as depression. Women are more likely to be misdiagnosed than men. Antidepressants can worsen bipolar symptoms if you're not on a mood stabilizer. It was like a light bulb went off. Everything I'd been experiencing, the highs, the lows, the medication that made me worse, it all made sense. To treat lupus and bipolar, you need multidisciplinary care. You need a team. And lupus, it mimics other illnesses, which makes it exceptionally hard to diagnose. The harm and what happens when doctors don't listen. Here's what 10 years of misdiagnosis and medical gaslighting cost me. A decade of my life spent on the wrong medications. Relationships that ended because I thought I was the problem. Jobs I lost because I couldn't regulate my mood. Nights I spent convinced I was making it all up. That's called iatrogenic harm. What is iatrogenic harm? It means harm caused by medical treatment or lack of medical treatment. When doctors dismiss you, misdiagnose you, or prescribe the wrong medications, they're not just making a mistake, they're causing harm. And that harm is real, it's measurable, and it's preventable. So if you've ever been told it's all in your head, or you're too young to have all these problems, know this: you're not imagining it. You're being failed by a system that was supposed to help you. Let me give you the toolkit I wish I had had 10 years ago. 10 red flags you're being medically gaslighted. 1. Your doctor dismisses your symptoms as stress or anxiety without further testing. Stress is real, but it's not always the root cause. If your doctor won't dig deeper, that's a red flag. 2. You're told your test results are normal, but you still feel sick. Normal doesn't mean nothing is wrong. It means the tests they ran didn't catch it. Push for more tests. Your doctor blames you, your symptoms, your weight, age, or gender. If the first thing your doctor says is lose weight, or you're experiencing hormones without investigating farther, that's gaslighting. They prescribe medication without explaining why or what it's for. You deserve to know why you're being prescribed something and what the side effects are. They tell you to just exercise more or try yoga. Exercise is great, but it's not a cure-all. If that's their only suggestion, push back. You feel dismissed, rushed, or unheard in appointments? If your doctor isn't listening, find one who will. They minimize your pain or say it can't be that bad. Pain is subjective. Only you know how bad it is. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. They refuse to order tests or referrals you request. You have the right to request tests and second opinions. If they refuse, ask them to document it in your chart. They blame your mental health for physical symptoms without ruling out physical causes first. Yes, mental health affects physical health, but physical illness also affects mental health. Don't let them skip the medical workup. You leave appointments feeling unheard, confused, or like you're making it all up. If you consistently feel this way, it's not you, it's them. How to advocate for yourself. Be proactive in your healthcare. Here's what I want you to do if you're being medically gaslit. Document everything. Write down your symptoms, when they happened, how severe they are. Bring this documentation to every appointment. If your doctor dismisses it, ask them to add it to your medical chart. Ask questions and demand answers. What tests are you running and why? What are we ruling out? What happens if this medication doesn't work? What are the side effects? Request test results in writing. You have the legal right to your medical records. Request them. Review them. If something doesn't make sense, ask. Bring a support person to appointments. Having someone with you can help you remember what was said and hold the doctor accountable. Get a second or even third opinion. If your doctor won't listen, find one who will. You are not obligated to stay with a doctor who dismisses you. File a complaint if necessary. If you've been seriously harmed by medical gaslighting, you can file a complaint with your state's medical board. Trust yourself. You know your body. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Where do you find help? Well, if you're being medically gaslighted and need support, here's where to start. Mental health support. NAMI, N-A-M-I, National Alliance on Mental Illness. So it's NAMI.org, NAMI.org. Free education, support groups, and advocacy resources. SMHSA, National Helpline, 1-800-662-4357. It's free, confidential, 24/7 support for mental health and substance abuse. 988, Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Call or text 988, immediate crisis support. Medical advocacy, Patient Advocate Foundation, patientadvocate.org, free case management and advocacy services. State medical boards, file complaints about negligent or harmful care. All of these resources and more are available in your Medical Gaslighting Survival Kit, free at realtalkwithnikki.com/medical. That's REALTALKWITHNIKI.com/medical. Here's what I need you to know. If you've been dismissed, minimized, or told it's all in your head, you're not alone. Medical gaslighting is real. It's harmful, and it happens every single day. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. You are not your diagnosis. You are not your symptoms. And you are not broken just because someone said you were. You deserve care, you deserve to be heard, and you deserve a doctor who believes you. So if you're sitting there right now wondering if you're making it all up, let me be the voice that says, you're not making it up. You're not overreacting, and you're not crazy. You're being failed by a system that was supposed to protect you, that was supposed to help you, and that's not your fault. This is Real Talk with Nikki, and I'll see you next week. Next week's episode, we're talking about something I never thought I'd say out loud. What happens when the person you're trying to save doesn't want to be saved? This is episode 8, When Love Isn't Enough, Adult Children, Addiction, and the Boundaries That Break You. See you next Monday.